It's been like a year since I started watching that movie.
It's been a year since you watched the movie.
Yeah, I watch it almost every day.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think about this scene where he's like playing and his hands are bleeding a lot. Like I need to be able to practice like that.
I've been there.
Really.
Yeah,
You've
I've
been
been
through
in
that.
that. Yeah, been
So
that
would you say
line of
Whiplash is your
obsession.
favorite movie if you're watching it every day?
I mean, no, it just reminds me of where I came from, like that obsession. You know, it you become the thing with the obsession is like it comes and it fades away just as fast as it came for most people. So reminds me to like just keep on, yeah, because I'm very obsessive with stuff that I like, and that type of thing.
So basically, when you're not obsessed, you have the movies that you can get obsessed again.
Yeah.
You want to be in a constant state of obsession.
Yes. Uh, I'm an adrenaline junkie, so it's like being in that constant state of obsession just makes me focus on that one thing, and the level of growth that you get from that type of focus is unlike anything in the world. So yeah, it's really cool to.
Okay, so let's start. Tell us who you are.
Oh, okay. My name is Simon's Playground. As the name goes, I like to enter a domain or be in a place and make it my playground, own it. Yeah. I believe in being in control, even like in areas where I'm not in control. But like, okay, let's talk about music generally. I love music, so I think I've been doing music for the longest time, man. Ever since I was born, basically. Yeah, I just been doing music. I was just born with that. I don't want to say calling, but I had a, what do you call those hands? Like having those hands, people that are good at cooking. What do you call it? Green fingers?
Green. That's for
Green thumb?
people good with plants. They have a green thumb.
Yeah, green thumb.
Yeah.
Something of that sort, but like for instruments. So I play a lot of instruments.
What was the first instrument you played?
Drums. Drums. I started off on drums, but people don't believe me though. Apparently, I don't have that drama aesthetic, so I don't know what that means. But yeah, I started off from drums. I was in scout, so started off from drums, just playing that little snare. And I found out there's you can play a whole set of drums alone, and I was like, that's really cool. And I got into that. And my dad plays guitar, right? He plays acoustic guitar, and one day I just saw him playing, and I was like, let me try and play. And he taught me the C chord, and I was horrible. I couldn't play the C chord. And then I found out that he was left-handed and I'm right-handed. So yeah, I was playing guitar upside down for like a whole year, and then that wasn't working out. And then yeah, I switched to playing right-handed guitar, and then I got better at that. So I played a lot of instruments, but I really like the things that I can do with the lead guitar in terms of self-expression. Felt like I can. There was more variety in the sense of the way I can express myself, the melodies and all that. So yeah,
Yeah. Okay, so you were talking about the kind of music you listen to.
or the kind of music I listen to. Um, it's a lot. It's a lot. I feel like I have a very weird music taste in the sense that when I give my friends my headsets, they're like, "What the hell is this?" But he can relate. So I listen to rock. That's why I started off. Your basic Michael learns out rock, Van Halen, all the classics. But when I started off, I really loved Jimi Hendrix. He was like my aesthetic. I used to have those what do you call them? Those pens that flare and all that stuff. Because I love Jimi Hendrix and his stage presence. And usually when he got on stage, he looked like he was possessed, like when he was playing the guitar. But when he got out of stage, he was just so chilled, calm, collected. He didn't even believe that he was one of the best guitarists in the world until he became the best guitarist in the world. So I just like that about him, and I low key absorbed that personality. I'm a different person in all facets of my life. You can meet me at school, I look like a different person. You meet me at a show, I look like a different person. So like, I don't want to say I have. Okay, basically I do have multiple personalities, but like, yeah, Simon's Playground is the personality that you're gonna see at the show. So, yeah.
Cool. So you're talking about Jimi Hendrix became the best player at some point. Who's the best player right now?
That's such a controversial topic, honestly, because um, right now I think the best, one of the best, because hey, there are a lot of good guitarists out there, and I realized it's more objective than anything. It's more like what genre do you listen to and stuff like that. But Polyphia is one of the bands that's been on a really high rise, and I've been listening to them for like years. And Tim Henson is like stuck in everyone's brains right now. He's the things that he can do with the guitar. He has his own brand now, like his own guitar brand. So he's crazy. He's probably one of the top 10 that I can think about.
So
Yeah,
are you trying to focus on guitar, like because of the expression?
that's a really good question. Um, Honestly, I started guitar as just okay. It's good to express yourself, but I just love playing a lot of instruments because each instrument has its own feel to it. Like when you play a saxophone, it sounds more mellow. When you're playing a lead guitar, you can do a lot of things with it, right? But I think I'm probably gonna venture into other instruments again. But right now, my main focus is the lead guitar. Yeah, yeah.
So do you have a okay when you say it's your main focus? Is it like for is there a specific type of goal that you're trying to reach with the lead guitar before you're
Yeah,
gonna move on to the next?
yeah. Basically, I'm trying to become a guitar. What do you call it?
Virtuoso.
Virtuoso, in a sense. So the important thing about becoming a guitar virtuoso is finding something a sound that's unique to you. So that's the journey that I've been on for like 7 years. So it's not as easy as it sounds because you make a new chord, you think it's new, and then you found that it already has a name and it's been out there, you know. So I'm just exploring, and I like the process. So I feel like that's the only reason why I've been as consistent as I've been for over the years, and I haven't lost that passion because I'm focused on the process more than the goal. So yeah.
So what's your practice regimen? What's your system?
Um. Uh, I'm low key lazy, so I just practice like twice a week. It usually takes like 30 to 45 minutes. Nothing hectic. I love sticking to the basics. I believe in mastering your basics because if you master your basics, no one can like lead you astray. Because if you don't have a solid foundation in terms of like the principles and the basics, that's where people easily persuade you to be like, nah, you can do this instead of that, and then there's just a lot of information going around in the internet, especially, and you just get absorbed into all that, and you don't have one focus, you know. So yeah, I love practicing my basics at least twice a week. Yeah, I feel like that's the most important thing, honestly. Yeah,
So now, okay, like you have all these instruments you play, right?
yeah.
And then how do you intend to package it
That's a really good question. What I can say is that although I am like a multi instrumentalist, I also sing. You know, I sing and I write songs from time to time. I believe singing is a good way of like making everything come together, you know, in a way that that people that listen to when they listen to music, they can hear the melody. Like what jumps out to them first is the melody, and that people that when they listen to music, what jumps out to them first is the lyrics. So I'm trying to accommodate all of that, and I want when a musician listens to my songs and be like, oh, he did that. That's crazy. But I also want somebody who like listens to the lyrics and be like, I really connect with the song. That's how I feel every day. So I feel like that element allows me to make everything come together. Yeah, being able to sing, thankfully, it makes things make sense. Yeah, as an instrumentalist. Right? Yeah.
Okay, so where do you get your inspiration from besides music? Like, for example, the anime.
Um, I get my inspiration from a lot of things because I do a lot of things, right? Um, for example, um, I've recently written a song about the course that I study. You know, it's the course that I study is interesting. I do engineering, so I do civil engineering, and it's all about buildings and stuff. And I remember one time in the Bible they talked about building a building that can reach the heavens and all that. So I wrote a song about that and just trying to conceptualize building something that tall, how you gonna maintain it, finding the people to do that. It was a fun experience. So I grabbed my inspiration from just different walks of life. You know, like I said, I have different personas for different environments. For example, I work out. You know, I and I meet different personalities at the gym. So it's like I can grab inspiration from that, you know, or different sports. Yeah. So it just depends. It just depends on what type of environment I'm in. I just, I like to absorb and observe. Yeah.
What's your favorite anime?
A lot of people judge me about this because of how sadistic the anime is. It's a very sadistic and melancholic anime. It's called Berserk, right? Berserk anime. Very old school, uh, and sad because the main character of the story is always going through like trials and tribulations each and every minute of his life. Like all the time he's being attacked or getting messed up, but he still continues to push, like for what he loves or for the person that he loves, and persevere throughout all that he goes through, which I feel like is so cool. It's very painful that there are never like results from how hard he works, but like it's really nice though. It's really nice to see how much he perseveres, and in a sense I see myself in him. you know the main character of the story, his name is Guts, and I feel like you guys should go watch that anime and don't judge from how old school it looks. Yeah.
What's sadistic about it? What is sadistic about
Okay.
crazy about it?
So the main character, the protagonist, met the antagonist, right? They're both warriors, they're both soldiers, and Griffith, the antagonist, wanted Guts to be in his team, so he recruited him. He defeated him, and then he ended up recruiting him. Guts was like super hard headed, and he always felt like he didn't have a sense of purpose in life, basically. Yeah. So because he had a really hard upbringing, he grew up just wanting to fight. That's all he knew. And Griffith, in a sense, gave him a sense of purpose because he was fighting for something. Griffith was fighting to build a kingdom, even though he came from a place of an upbringing of nothingness. He had nothing when he grew up. So Griffith has this dream. Guts has no dream, and it really started becoming apparent the more he was walking around Griffith. And throughout that walk together, they became close. They became friends. But Griffith betrayed Guts. There was a lot going on, but Griffith at the end betrayed Guts and he killed his whole team. He sacrificed his whole team for his dream, which was kind of sad because Guts thought they were best friends, and it was the ultimate betrayal, man. And there was a lot going on. There was rape involved. Griffith raped Guts' girl, something like that. It's just very sadistic because it keeps on getting worse for Guts. His best friend leaves him. All of his friends die. His girlfriend gets killed. He tries to save his girlfriend, but his girlfriend goes nuts. He goes crazy. Yeah, it was just it's sadistic, but the moral of the story is to always have a vision, even though things are crazy around you, and I just like that. You know?
Alright, so actually, let's leave from that. What's your word? If you had to give words of advice to the kids,
Yeah.
to the city, what would you say?
I'm a very goal-centered person, so I feel like throughout everything that you do, have a goal in mind and be consistent with it. You know, always see whatever you do to the end. Yeah. I feel like that's really cool if you can do that. You know, it means you can do anything you want. Yeah. I feel like that's what I live by. So I definitely give that type of advice to everyone out there.
That's all.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for the interview. See you at Perfect Noise.
Appreciate you.
Oh, the man.
Oh,
Something about finishing an interview, you want to stand up and
just dip, bro.